just felt like sharing a pretty view this morning as the sun is coming up, and of course the messy pergola that I gotta work on. We had wind, and I tell you, I'm almost tempted to call Top of Ridge Windy Acres, because it gets pretty darn gusty up here. Yeah, and we're finally in the 40s. Yeah, we got to I think it was my husband said it was 42 when he got up this morning, 5 o'clock, and I don't know, I'm being a lump. I just decided to come out here with my bathrobe and have a cup of coffee, and I just decided I was going to have a ramble instead of getting my keister in gear and getting on out there and getting started. But I opened the door and the chickens can come out when they choose to come out, and on these colder mornings they're a bit lazy, you know, they're a bit spoiled. And I am concerned because I am worried at the moment. I haven't heard whether my chicken tractor's done. I had this local guy make it for me because my husband didn't have the time. He's working on other things that need to be done around here, like finding the irrigation lines. Yeah, it looked like Caddyshack had blown up a bunch of places in our front yard and then back here in the back. Trying to find where the water lines were from the well house. There's a spigot way out there yonder in the pawpaw patch, pasture, and it comes up, and you know, you can drag hoses all over that back couple acres back there. Yeah, get a couple 100-foot, probably need about 300-foot hoses to reach all the different corners because of the shape of the property. And yeah, because I got to start putting in more trees to create some wind blocks, you know. I got to invest in a weather station. They're not expensive. Been looking on a couple sites what the cost is, because we're not close enough to any major city that reports in. I mean, there's a little town down the ridge from us that shows up on AccuWeather and I think the Weather Channel app on my phone. Anyway, I can pay attention to that, but that's down in a holler. We're up here on the ridge. There can be several degrees in temperature. So anyway, my ramble this morning is basically piss and moan. You know, we moved out here without knowing anybody. Everybody we know is in town, and nobody has a pickup truck. And our old one is, I don't know what that little thing was. It just popped up on my screen. Our old one, our old Ram, had a problem with keeping the charge in the battery. And my husband got the battery all charged up, so I'd drive down the road, take it to the mechanic, and it crapped out partway down the road. So then he had it towed, and they fixed what they thought the problem was. Now mind you, this was a 20-year-old truck, and it still didn't keep its charge. And then the latch for the hood, it wouldn't stay latched, and my husband tried to, you know, drive it down the road, try to see if he could get that fixed, and the darn hood goes whoosh, right It was a good thing there wasn't much traffic on the road. And then he was on a 4-lane highway for that bit of the trip, so that he could pull off the side fairly easy. And he had to get like a tow rope that he had stashed behind the seat, tie down the hood so he could turn around and get back home. But yeah, and you know that the cab of that Ram wasn't one of those crew cab things, you know. So the dog took up a lot of space. He goes with me everywhere, and so you know it didn't fit anymore. And then we were able to barter it. Actually, got tree work done that needed. That's what tree kept dropping branches. Is water oak, and water oaks, they kind of rot from the inside out after a while, and it kept, like, the branches just go whoosh, and was like a big old broom, a ginormous broom would be down in the middle of our neighbor's driveway, so they couldn't get in or out of their house. Yeah, and it would happen, and I'd hear a boom. And then she'd be on the phone calling me and saying, can you do something about that? And so we would call the guys with tree trimming, and, you know, they'd come, and eventually they had to take the tree down because it just kept happening and happening and happening. Anyway, yeah, so we don't have a truck anymore, and we gotta get one. And, that's one of the big expenses around here. That and the barn roof was secondhand metal siding or something that was put up there, and it wasn't even the size that was needed. So it was put up there, and it's rusted through and everything, and it was nailed in place instead of screwed in place. So we're talking about just putting some underlayment that we have on top of the rusted out, and then just put a metal roof on top of it. And because I ordered this chicken tractor from a local person who makes it, but he's like backed up with all the people wanting chicken tractors. So I don't know if the chicken tractor is going to be done by the time that the chicks need to be moved on out of the incubator, or not the incubator, but the brooder. Can't keep them in the shed or in the dining room forever, you know. When they're first coming, yeah, they'll be in the dining room in a brooder thing. And I told my husband, I said, you might lose your shed. It might become a chicken house. But we need to get that barn roof done, and digging all these holes to find out where that water line goes so that we can have water out there at the barn. And I've got some experimental garden beds out there for doing the whole permaculture course that I'm doing, just for upgrading and advancing knowledge. You know, it's always good to learn new things, and when you piddle around in the dirt, you know, you're always learning, because there's no way that you're just gonna be sitting there being stagnant unless you do the same things over and over and over and over and over. And then you're doing monoculture. When you do monoculture, that's pretty much a routine. Goes in the same circle all the time, and, you know, deplete the ground. After that, the harvest is done, you have your chemicals that have been used, and then it's more chemicals, and no, thank you. can't trust chemicals anymore. They put too many things in there that bad for your health, bad for the ground, and it can be poisonous actually with some of it. What I've been reading up on, it's kind of scary. Anyway, so yeah, we have to get the irrigation thing figured out. Some guys came over and started looking at it, and they said they can also do the barn roof. So keep my fingers crossed, because I gotta start getting that barn ready just in case. That's where I have to put my chicks when they're old enough to be moved on out and living in a space, because my other biddies, they're not gonna share their coop. Those girls are opinionated till the cows come home and stomp all over the garden. So yeah, we gotta get things ready. And I also want the barn taken care of before hurricane season starts, because the winds, you know, we haven't gone through a summer here yet, and we don't know what it's all going to be like. We just know what we've been through this winter. A lot of wind, and there's not wind breaks, so we got to work on that. And I'm not complaining. I knew what I was signed up for. You know, I've lived the homestead life before, and I was raised around farms, and my parents had a little farm when I was a little girl. And, you know, my mom was always growing stuff, but yeah, it's like, it's not like we went in this with blinders on, you know. We had that 20 acres for over a decade until my husband's career moved us to this area of Florida. And, you know, we thought we could live the town life and just take it easy for the rest of our lives. And that drove me crazy, which is not hard to do, you know? No. So, at the point where I was just, oh man, it was making me sick. And that was when we just thought we'd dip our toe in the water and see what real estate was doing. Fell in love with this place immediately. Pictures, came, looked at it. Some things need to be done, but yeah, it was as good as we thought. So, jumped on it. Now here we are, 5 acres out in the country, returning to living the life that we enjoyed. And yeah, it's a lot of hard work. Anybody who's considering getting out there and doing a homestead, buying some acreage, just know that if you're not willing to work 7 days a week, well, you can figure out how to take at least half a day off. But anyway, it's rewarding as well. That's the thing. You make the commitment, you stick it through, and you find ways to just, like right now, watching the sun come up. It is so darn beautiful. Little birds have been, sorry that I kept getting my finger in the way. You know, little birds have been coming out there and getting on them crepe myrtle trees, and you know, I hate crepe myrtles. Oh man, I hate crepe myrtles. But those that I can't take down, I'm going to use as a trellis. I'm not sure what's going on out there in the distance. It looks like there's out there, I don't know if you can see it or not, right there. Maybe they're spraying something out there. Are they doing some kind of controlled burn? I don't know. It doesn't look like plumes like smoke. So I'm not sure what's happening. Just on the other side of that other ridge over there. I don't know if the camera's picking up that there's a cell tower over there. The light flashes. But But on the other side of that is a lake, and it's a pretty popular lake for fishing apparently. But anyway, oh no, sorry about that. But you find these moments, you know, like the dog, he's laying out there enjoying hearing the sounds of nature. Hear that? We've got some cardinals around here. We've got bluebirds. We've got some robins have been coming in migration in the winter. I'm not sure what that sound is. I'll have to get my identifier out. Of course, there's a car driving by out there on the road, or a truck or something. A pretty sound. That's a cardinal. Two of them out there. This is the way we start our day. And every weekend, we take that time in the morning, sit down, have a little devotional time, and we sit for a few minutes and we watch the birds. And we have bird feeders all over the place. Oh, you so cute. Foilon out there rolling around in the dirt. Yeah, he's so handsome. Anyway, that's the thing about homestead life, is you get to enjoy nature. You get to enjoy the personalities of the animals around you, whether they're domestic, whether they are wild. You know, we've got friendly neighbors. They're not all up in your business, gossipy, but they'll sit down and talk with you. And that's nice. And there's a whole community around here of people, and we're just now starting to try to tap into it because we've just been so busy with getting things done here. So I am going to close it off for today. And, you know, I would highly recommend this life. Definitely highly recommend this life to anybody. You just got to have a bit of grit in your gut. Be willing to get some dirt under your fingernails if you have fingernails. Mine are always getting worn off, nicked up, and all that kind of stuff because I forget to put my gloves on. Having a source of capital as you're getting started is a good idea. You know, with us, my husband is in his 60s, but he is still working, and he will probably work at his career until the day he drops over. And, you know, and that's because he loves what he does. So why in the world should he retire if he doesn't want to? So the compromise for us was, we have the homestead. I get to play in the dirt. We get to live the homestead life. He still gets to go to play with his computers and stuff. And we live off the land, and we love and enjoy nature and all the critters, and watch the sunrises and the sunsets, and, you know, be thankful. And don't get so hung up on all the politics and all that stuff. Yeah, be aware. And be aware of some of this other stuff that's going on that people go, it's just conspiracy theory. Maybe not. We don't know for sure what all is going on in the back rooms and the secret places, and that sounds like a conspiracy theory itself. But there's enough information out there that I think that's a valid assumption. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this little pretty. Just see right here. Not only is my boy handsome, I'm not sure what he's nibbling on. Maybe he's just grooming himself. But we have got a blueberry bush here that I put it up here close to the house to keep an eye on it. I did not know that it was going to transplant well from the other place we lived. And this is the first experimentation garden, as you've seen it before, and this is how well it's doing. I just kind of threw some stuff in there, and a bunch of grass is coming up too, so I'm gonna have to get a hoe in here and get started at it. But we've got squashes, we've got the grain corn, we've got the peas. Over there is Seminole pumpkin. Hey, big guy. Oh, he found a bone. Uh-huh. Yep. He just keeping an eye on everything. He's feeling better from the last round of arthritis. But he's doing better. So, get outside today and wiggle your toes in the dirt. And then plant something. Yep. There you go. Good old scratch. Talk to y'all later. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, help the channel grow. Oh, good gosh, you don't need to be seeing that. The fun of having animals. Like and subscribe, help us grow the channel. Later.